A few main achievements I would say are, in terms of work, just being able to contribute to actually making something and to UK manufacture, and essentially knowing that something I'm doing is helping the business to succeed. I have been recognised a couple of times by the business for my contribution to manufacturing, to the business activities, which is always a really good achievement, especially when you consider to go above and beyond what's expected of an apprentice. In terms of the personal development side of things, I would say that speaking at the Conservative Party conference live on the telly was a really big achievement for me. If you'd have said at the beginning of my apprenticeship or before my apprenticeship that I'd have been able to do that, I would have never have believed it, so that really shows how far that I've come. My current role is a logistics planner in the printed electronic circuit boards area of the business, working on a missile system for the RAF. It means that I'm fulfilling a role that's actually needed by the business. It was a resource shortage, and I'm essentially getting the parts where we need them on time to get into the kits and actively contribute to manufacture. My parents were quite supportive, but I know that other apprentices here have had parents who just don't see apprenticeships as a route as full-time education. So I think it's really important that there is that word of mouth, and that apprentices like myself and like the other candidates today that go out and will promote apprenticeships and spread the word of mouth as much as possible.
There are so many benefits for me for being able to study at the same time as working, because for me the issue is understanding why I'm learning what I'm learning, and I found that within this I know exactly why I'm learning what I'm learning, because I'm using it every day. For me, the apprenticeship isn't just an academic qualification, and it's not just a vocational qualification, it's everything together. There's technical kind of training, leadership training, as well as various other opportunities that GE provide. You know, I'm really enjoying the academic side of it, but at the same time, yeah, I learn something one day and I'm using it in the lab the next day, and kind of all the other development, the presentation skills, organisational skills, everything that goes with it, I just think is a really great opportunity. I run a scheme called Girls Get Set, and that's kind of an educational scheme geared at encouraging girls into science, engineering and technology.
Salome is a real ambassador for our higher apprenticeship scheme and a role model for some of the others, both academically, where she comes at or near the top of the class, on her projects where she always gets glowing reviews from her team leads, and as well as the volunteering opportunities we provide. Salome's really taken a lead in those as well, particularly trying to interest young girls in engineering, which is a career route not necessarily open to them.
Knowing that a project has kind of succeeded with my help, and without it maybe wouldn't have done as well, that's something I'm really proud of, because that means that I'm an engineer.
Every week is different and never boring, and the opportunity to fulfil real job roles where you're working to real business objectives and making true business decisions with real consequences. And I'm able to put into practice what I learned from my degree and able to work towards an NVQ level 4 at the same time. My greatest achievement to date within MBDA has been fulfilling a full-time permanent job role within the procurement function, where I was responsible for the procurement of subcontractors, and this was critical to projects and critical to projects meeting their deadline. So I had to really make sure that everything I did was on time and to subcontractor standard and manager standard, so that deadlines were achieved for our customer. One of my other greatest achievements is my current role, which I'm undertaking, which is working in a supply chain transformation team, which is to achieve the UKMD's overall vision to be recognised as industrial leader within the supply chain. This role is not normally something which is offered to apprentices, and it's actually part of quite a senior team which I'm working with, and I'm really proud that my manager selected me out of all of the apprentices to fulfil this role. I've been to schools to promote apprenticeships to young people. I've also helped young people fill out application forms and prepare for interviews for apprenticeships within our sector, and I've also represented MBDA and apprenticeships at career fairs locally.